Namaste everyone. I am Varsha Gala from the Yoga Institute and today we have with us Shri S. Sridharan ji from Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandir. Shri S. Sridharan ji is a senior most therapist, consultant and a mentor at Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandira. Sridharan ji had a successful career of merchant banker. So he worked as a merchant banker for close to 28 years. By this time, all through his work, he started learning yoga from his guru in a Gurukul style, TKS Deshi Kacharji. And when he was learning the nuances of yoga, he had a depth learning and understanding of Indian classical texts and also its application in therapy. When he was working on his post as a merchant banker, he thought of renouncing everything. He thought of renouncing his job and he made yoga as a full-fledged, he was devoted rather, I would say, as towards yoga, a full-fledged. Understanding his devotion, he became a managing trustee of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, that is KYM, the short form famously known as KYM. And he had been awarded many titles, which we will be understanding later. But he represented KYM all over the world in all the seminars, conferences, World Yoga Festivals, and much more. So towards his journey, working as managing trustee of KYM, he was associated as a governing member of Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga and also Ministry of Ayush. So he was an active part in YCB, that is Yoga Certification Board, which is a committee of Ministry of Ayush, which is into certifying yoga teachers. He is a vice president of Indian Yoga Association and also actively involved in the activities and also a life member of IYA, that is Indian Yoga Association. He is a governing member of CCRYN, that is Central Council for Yoga, Research in Yoga and Naturopathy. So there is much more to his achievements and much more to his activities on that ground. He's also associated with World Health Organization on developing mobile app on yoga, that is M-Yoga. He has also participated representing KYM into the World Yoga Festivals in UK and many other parts of the world. For his services to the field of yoga, for the activities and for his dedication, he had been awarded the title of Dronacharya by Rotary Club of Madras East and also Lifetime Achievement Awards by Balaji Vidyapeeth, Pondicherry. So this is, it was very difficult to put into short, sir, your achievements, your dedication, your yogic journey. We would like to hear from you more on that. So I tried to culminate whatever I knew and I could gather about your beautiful journey of yoga. And I offer you a warm welcome, sir, on behalf of the Yoga Institute, Dr. Hansaji Yogendra, and also Life Management Yoga Center, which is the very first branch of overseas branch of Yoga Institute, which is run by Hansaji and Dr. Jaydev's disciples, Romesh Ahujaji and Sangeeta Ahujaji, and which is situated in Hong Kong. So, sir, once again, there is a warm welcome on behalf of Yoga Institute. We are blessed to have connected with you today. And as center, the Hong Kong Center is completing 25 years. So we are having a series of lectures and the discussion with the scholars. And today's discussion, sir, is on traditions in yoga. So namaste. And my first question for you today, sir, is what is tradition in yoga? What is parampara? Are they rooted in Vedas? Are they are very ancient, as old as mankind and as old as yoga? How is your how do you look at this importance of tradition and parampara, sir? Yes.
Thank you very much first
Yeah.
for the introduction and introducing me. Let me start with a prayer to our
Yes.
teachers. Shri Krishna Vagishayatishwarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana श्रीनूत्नरङ्गेन्द्रयतौ समर्पितस्वं श्रीकृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमीडे विरोधे कार्तिकेयमासे शतताराकृतोदयं योगाचार्यं कृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमभजे कृष्णसूरीदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्देगं योगदेशिकम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. At the outset, I want to thank Dr. Hansaji Devi, with whom I have an excellent relationship for quite some time now. Whenever I see her and meet her, she always used to talk about the synchronization of Yoga Institute and KEVM in terms of number of things, value systems, and the way in which both the institutions operate as a non-profit. We are a non-profit public charitable trust. And also the various ideas of the yoga, the way they are delivered. Also, I want to congratulate Ramesh and Sangeeta Ahuja, both founder of Life Management Yoga Institute and co-founder of Culture of Consciousness, in completing 25 years of yoga in Hong Kong, for his soil, in a very successful way,
Yes.
and representing the Indian teachings, ancient Indian teachings, in pristine purity, and also bringing in a lot of solace to people there. Before as I start answering your questions, I would like to recite a prayer generally which we used to recite. Gurubhyastadgurubhyascha namo vakamadhimahe vruணிमहे च तत्राद्यौ Dampati Jagatampati. This Sanskrit word says, I offer my prostration to my teacher, his teacher, and the lineage of teachers tracing to the supreme couple, first couple. This is one of the slokas, prayers that we do. In fact, the prayer I started first was on a prayer on our teacher, Desikachar. Second, first a prayer on our teacher's teacher, Krishnamacharya, Tirumala Krishnamacharya, whose name bears our institute, Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. Well, the parampara, yoga parampara, or the parampara way of teaching, learning, passing on this knowledge, science of yoga, existed time immemorial. As we all know, yoga traces its origins to Vedas. There are references to the word yoga itself in both Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda in a direct and in indirect ways. So the way in which Vedas, which exist always, there is no beginning and end to Vedas, and Vedas are the breath, are considered to be the breath of the Lord, Supreme Being. And these Vedas themselves have been and continue to be passed on in a parampara style, which in English call as tradition. What does this parampara style means? Parampara way means it is just not tradition in English which may not convey. The parampara here is a continued passing off from one person to the other. A continuation. There is a total continuation, and this continuation is from one individual to the individual. So the teacher teaches a particular student, and the student again takes up and teaches another individual student. And this parampara is generally taken in an individual way. One teacher may have more students, and those students will have more students. But also this is going on in parampara because in yoga, two important aspects of yoga are to be learned. One is the theory behind the yoga principles, and second, the practice. And there is a link. But the theoretical part, like learning Yoga Sutra and the principles of Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Yajnavalkya Samhita, Bhagavad Gita, all text and also the principles, they generally can be taken in a group atmosphere, but by one individual teacher in a group. But when it comes to practice, a self-practice, it is developed and given by a teacher to one student. Or if there are 30 students in a class, every 30 individual students, one by one, will receive an individual lesson. And they will continue to develop. This is the way we have been passed on by our teacher, and that's what we are doing in KYM, which I will explain further in modern days context. With continuation is the most important. There is no break. Incidentally, why this importance of teacher and particularly the teacher to student? Let us understand that in the case of yoga, the most important text is Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. In that, the word Ishvara, which is equivalent to God in English, Supreme Being, special person, is stated to be Sa Esha Purveshamapi Guruhu Kalena Anavachedat. He is considered to be the first and foremost teacher beyond time. Beyond time. So the concept of God as Ishvara in Yoga Sutra itself is only Guru. So it has come from Guru in a way. As far as Hatha Yoga Pratipika, it is very clearly talks about Guru Upatishta Margena in Pranayama. So the idea that a teacher must be there and the teacher will pass on is continuing, it's going on time immemorial. It is not that somebody invented it somewhere and it is being done. It is just like a tree coming up, So a tree comes up, yes, that is the way. It's a natural way of coming up. So the
Yes.
Guru Parampara way of passing on in yoga is a natural way. It has come up. It is being preserved now. The problem point is it is preserved. Preservation is more difficult. It's not very easy. Because in Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna talks to Arjuna, he says, Arjuna, I am now giving you some yoga, a lesson in yoga. In fact, Bhagavad Gita is considered as Yoga Shastra. Iti Bhagavad Gitastu Upanishastu Brahma Vidya Yoga Shastre Krishna Arjuna Samvade. A conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. Krishna says in the 4th chapter that I gave this science and art of yoga first to Vivaswan, who is son, and Vivaswan gave it to Manu. So there is a lineage, and he himself says that this was broken somewhere. Now I am going to give you initiative again. So the breaking of a tradition had happened earlier. It is not that it never happened. So, number one, the traditional and parampara is a natural way it came. That is how it is going, it is continuing. But there have been stages where there has been a breaking of them, parampara. And probably the first teacher himself or herself takes a form, comes and continues the same. So there are chances of a particular tradition being broken and coming back is there. But the tradition is the best way and correct way to learn and practice yoga. One. Why at all? Because yoga is a adhyatmika vidya. Yoga is something relating to the self, discovery of the self. And in the process, we discover a lot of things. In
Yes.
fact, sometimes we use the meditation as a tool to understand completely things in the state of samadhi, which comes in the third chapter of Yoga Sutra. So, this discovery of things, understanding, complete understanding, leads us to understand everything, including our own system, our so deep inside that we understand and experience our own self. It is an Adhyatmika Shastra. The Adhyatmika Shastra is very subtle at some point, and that subtlety needs certain special techniques which are to be passed down from one person to the other in a private way. It is not just a secret. In fact, it is called Guhya, secret, Ragasya. Ragasya does not mean denying other person about this. It is not denial of anybody else. I will give you a Ragasya, I will not talk about it. Everyone is given in an individual way. Because the receiving person, why individual? Why not all together? This is the most important point to be understood. You see, there are how we are divided into five, our system is divided into five parts: Annamayam, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya.
Anand.
Now, let us take the Manomaya. Manomaya, tasya yajure vasiraha, ridakshina pakshaha, sama uttara pakshaha. That's what the Veda says. Otherwise, what is this Manomaya? Rik, tasya yajure vasiraha. Yajur Yoga, Yajur Veda, sorry, Yajur Veda is the head. One wing is Rik Veda, another wing is Sama Veda. So Vedas contains the knowledge. At the level of Manomaya, we have knowledge which is same to you, me, and to all the others.
Yes.
But when it comes to Vijnanamaya, we are divided, where our samskaras, vasanas takes a large root. In fact, that is where the word yoga will also come. So, when we are going to deal with our mind, the system, particularly at the level of the Vijnanamaya, where whatever we learn in yoga have to be done in practice, that vasanas will come and differentiate every one of us.
Correct, sir.
So, teacher may give all inputs of yoga at the manomaya level to all the people together. He can say, what is yoga? Sutra explains yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, all. But when I want to introduce certain practices, it has to be done only in an individual way because we are divided at the level of our mind, at the Vijnanamaya level by Vasana. So, continuity of this to reach the goal, which is the goal is same for everyone, certain changes will have to be made at individual level, and what are the principles in which these changes are made is also explained by the teacher to the student so that he or she will pass it on. So, parampara, number one, flowed, it came like Vedas, it continues today. There are possibilities, there has been some break which has come earlier. Now, yoga is most ideal to go in parampara style because we are all divided at the level of our vasanas, and passing on the practice of yoga cannot be and will not give the results if it is done in a total way. This is one. And number two, we have also got our own parampara, which probably you may ask a question, I will explain further.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your insights, sir. I mean, you have answered almost all my questions in nutshell. So I'm really glad being associated with Yoga Institute past 15 years and teaching Hatha Pradipika, Giranda Samhita, and Hatha Yogic texts to the students in our TTC courses. I know that there is a parampara, lineage that has been listed in Hatha Yogic texts starting from Adi Yogi. So, sir, is this the same kind of parampara what you were talking about? Or
Yeah.
you are talking about it on the modern context?
Yes, yes. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that's why I told you, Hatha Yoga Pradipika particularly gives a list of even the um, the lineage,
Yes,
it talks
yes,
about, in the first chapter itself, it talks about apart from Adinatha, who is the first, Machendra,
yes,
then
sir.
Goraksha, it comes
Yes,
continuously. In
yes,
fact, there are some names which are also women name, is there one.
yes,
So, Kota Choli, that is like that, it is a name of the woman according to our teacher. So, it continues. So, in the case of Yoga Sutra itself, even though list of teachers have not been given, it talks about the first as the teacher, as the God. God is
yes,
teacher.
yes,
So, if you take, and I want to give you one more interesting aspect, is when it comes to passing on the Vedic knowledge. See, the essence of the Vedas are very vast. They are divided into four: Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva by Vyasa. And then there are so many Upanishads. Upanishads have got a list of teachers. It comes in lineage only. Now, when it comes to further giving the knowledge of the Vedas, came the Itihasas, Puranas, etc.
yes,
They are supposed to be giving in a different way, easy
yes,
way, what
yeah,
is found in the Vedas, which is very difficult to understand. So let
correct.
us take the Indian system, the ancient Indian system of understanding is there are three devatas which are considered very important: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Right. Yeah,
And they hid the entire divinities together. Through the divinities, we get everything. In fact, it is the passage through the divinities. Whether it is going to be good for the humanity at large, abundance, prosperity, or knowledge, everything comes from there. So let us take these three divinities, one for creation, another for preservation, another for laya. It is not destruction, it is laya, to take it
yeah,
back, like a
and will,
farmer
and will,
takes the seed and put it back. A farmer is
yes,
not destroying, he is taking the seed and putting back.
correct, sir.
So, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. If you
Yes,
look at our yogic tradition, also have that. See, let us take Yoga Yajnavalkya Samhita. Yajnavalkya Rishi, who is Vedic Rishi, says, I went to, in fact, Gargi, his wife is asking, for her only he is giving all the teaching. At the end, he is asking everyone to go away and give such special teachings to the wife, the
yeah,
lineage. No, he says, I went to Brahma, the four-headed Brahma, got this. And just now you said Adinatha, who is Shiva, so Hatha Yoga tradition comes. If you take Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu, another avatara is Krishna, or even if you take Yoga Sutra, the Patanjali is considered as the avatar of Adishesha, who is the serpent god of Vishnu. So the
yes,
lineage goes like that. So
yes.
it continues.
Very good. Great synthesis that you have brought to my and viewers' knowledge, sir. Very beautiful. Now we come to, sir, the next question, which says that, sir, we see yoga studios popping up in every corner. So yoga is now very popular. Our Prime Minister has supported it, promoted it, and I would say not scholars, but the saints and the activities like you are promoting real yoga, be it our founder Yogendra ji, Dr. Jaydev, you and many more are working hard to preserve the tradition. But as a teacher, if student comes to me to learn yoga, student is coming to learn the practices. So they are reducing the tradition of yoga to mere exercises. And when we see modern yoga studios all over, popping up everywhere in Mumbai, for example. So I don't see any traditional teachings there. They don't have any parampara or tradition. They themselves, as a teacher, are not knowing it. So we just can't expect them preaching it. So, what is your guideline for them? We just can't rule out them because they are in numbers, sir. So give some guideline for them, what they have to plan. Definitely, you are in an active part of Indian Yoga Association, YCB. So the syllabus is designed beautifully, but that is not. I can't see them followed in such yoga studios. So, sir, please give some guidelines to them. Yeah.
First, I think I'm not sure whether I should give a guideline as a word. You have used more than one to that.
Yeah.
Suggestion would be a better one. In fact, I don't know whether you know there are more Sanskrit words for the same teacher. The word in English is teacher, sometimes, of course, mentor, etc. But there are three words which are used in Sanskrit: Guru, the one who removes darkness, gives light. Acharya, special word, Yogacharya. Acharya means the one who has learned the text. Achinoti Shastra Arthat. Acharet Sthapayetapi. Swayam Acharate Yasmat Tasmat Acharya Uchyate. That he learns the text, practices them, and then
Apply.
teaches, like the passing on. There is another word called Deshika, which is the name of our teacher, actually. His full name is Veda Venkatanatha. And then added word is Deshika, Deshika Cha.
Deshikacha.
Deshika is again a word used in Sanskrit to denote a teacher. Here, the
Yeah.
word Desha means place. Desha Bandha Chittasya Dharana.
Dharana.
Desha means place.
Place,
Showing the
location.
way. Showing the way. The one who shows the way.
Yes, sir.
The one who leads is different. The one who removes is different. The one who shows, he said, this is the way. Please
Right.
go. So, a guideline, I would say, is maybe a bit, yes, we recently had some meetings of IYA going on, and see, now I'll tell you, um, yoga affects us in a number of ways.
Yes, sir.
Because our system is Annamayam, Pranayam, which we discussed just now. Yoga can affect us at the physical level,
Hmm.
at, at the breath level, at the mental level, at the vasanas level, and finally, it will affect us in the ananda level. That is the adhyatmika pole. Now, when it comes to the level of the human system, which wants certain relief from therapy, through therapy, certain things, just for the simple purpose. In fact, before that, I want to tell you, Bhagavad Gita is the best to quote. You can get everything from Bhagavad Gita.
Yes,
In
sir.
Bhagavad Gita, Lord says there are four types of my students. He
Yes.
says, Asti, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnani cha Bhardarshava. Of
Yes.
course, of the all the people, Jnani is the one whom I like, close to me. But others are also I am blessing, I am giving them. The Arthi is the one who says, I want this, I don't have it. Artharthi is the one who says, I have lost it, I had something, I have lost it, I want it back. These two are materialistic people. They want to take material things, they want to take it in life. The Jignasu is the one who is inquiring, but is not materialistic, but is inquiring and going towards the self. The Jnani is
Yes.
the one who understood. Now, in yoga also, we have got either minimum three varieties of people or two varieties. One is those who would like to use yoga for their just well-being. That's all. And in those cases, they may even drop off after some time. I have known of people who come here for back pain, neck pain, and all that. They get better, they go up, they start recommending people. They are
Yes.
not interested in the deeper levels. And when someone gets deeper level interest, that person will reach that particular teacher who will be waiting for the person. So even those studios are, according to me, they will continue and they should continue. They will become the conduit. If the studio does not come under it, because studio is a particular word that we are using now. So yeah, I don't know whether a studio itself can have a parampara, because if the studio owner, I see, for example, tomorrow I decide to start one, and I may call my yoga institute or yoga what this thing as studio. The word we have got it from particularly United States or somewhere. But
Best.
the where I wouldn't say about yoga studio, but I am more this thing about the universities teaching yoga. See, department of the universities teaching yoga has one situation where the parampara may not continue. There I am suggesting to the universities that is, I am not talking about the special universities in yoga. They are themselves paramparas. Supposing we take the Bangalore Shri Vivekananda S. Vyasa
Yes.
Guruji, he is himself reading a separate tradition, even though it
Yes.
is under university style. There are a few others in the north, but I am talking about a greater university in which a wing will be a yoga wing. There, the parampara, continuing the parampara, may have difficulty or may not be forthcoming. But that also, if they decide, they can have saying that our university is linked to Yoga Institute. Our
Correct.
university is linked to Kaivalyadam. Our university's yoga department is linked to Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandir. So the tradition can continue.
Yes,
This
sir.
likely to happen, it has already started.
Yes.
Number two, what can be done, what will be done is these traditions. And one more thing is why these traditions are important to be preserved. As long as I am going to do something for my body, maybe it's not required. But the moment I want to go deep into this, it will be required. But why should I go deep into it? Deep only go, you will be able to get relief for mental stress and others only when we go deep into that.
Correct,
So
sir.
not that mental stress relieving, continuing to be there is more important. Number one more important thing is what is the speciality of this parampara? Is the feedback and continuing to take the evolution of the person. It is not that I just drop because I was a teacher for the lower kindergarten and then the upper kindergarten. I don't know what happened to the child which has got evolved and has gone to PhD.
Correct,
Now,
sir.
I'm not just throwing it to the next class. I am going along with the evolution. Evolution happens not at physical level, but at the deeper level. So
Deeper.
that evolution can continue, will continue with the parampara. So studios are the places from where if the studio does not have a parampara style or if a department does not have it, they will be producing, and those coming out of that seeking will go to the respective. The teacher will appear to them. They will be
Yes,
there.
sir.
So
Correct.
seeker will get a teacher.
Very true, sir. The way our beloved Hansaji says that when the time comes, the teacher will come to student. When the student is ready, automatically the teacher will fetch the student. You are not supposed to run around to find a teacher. Rather, make your vessel so pure, go deeper. Automatically, the teacher will appear. Same, you have guided us. So beautifully, you have framed this answer so that the yoga studios or the departments who are preaching yoga at a superficial level, the bodily level, let them continue to do that. But they must go a step beyond. They must go deeper. Only and only then the stress management, the mental purification, and the further road they can take. Only and only then. So rightly you said that they can get affiliated to the traditional institute like KYM, the Yoga Institute, and there are many more for that matter, which are following the tradition very beautifully, very religiously, and they are preaching it. One more thing which I liked in your first answer, which I missed discussing, is that everybody, for example, we have 35 students in our TTC batches. And if I'm teaching Hatha Pradipika or Yoga Sutra to them, so I am uttering a shlok, I am sutra, and I am making them understand that at a group level. But the absorbing power, the application power will differ in each and every student, and for that we come to the Sadak Tattva of Atha Pradipika Dhairya. Have patience that your time will come, and keep practicing. Do not stop. That is what I got from both the answers, sir. Thank you so much. And at a personal level, I want to know about when you spent 3 decades with TKV Desikacharji. So knowing that the meaning of Desikachar, when he is Krishnamacharya's son, this surname I was wondering from where it came. So that is a name for Guru. And please share some intimate experiences that you had. 30 years is a long time, learning from such a Guru. Please share your experience with him. Yeah.
Well, there is a saying, Gurum Prakashayet Dhiman, Mantram Yatnena Gopayet. The teacher will give you a mantra, Gopayet, in secret. You are not supposed to reveal that mantra to everyone.
Correct.
You are supposed to keep it to yourself. Mantram Yatnena, with effort, Yatnena Gopayet. Gurum Prakashayet Dhiman, the one who is, he says, he talks about his teacher, talks about his glory of the teacher. He or she should. Well, before I met my teacher, I got interested into yoga. As you said in the beginning, I was working in a higher middle management level, very busy level in a bank. But I saw somewhere that yoga helps in self-improvement. I was looking forward to that. When I say self-improvement, I'm talking about the overall improvement as a person, efficiency in our life, in career, etc. Not on the exactly in the Adhyatmika style. That itself I saw in a book, and then I went to few yoga studios, as you are talking now in today's context. And fortunately, these teachers, some of them very clearly said that you are not going to get all here. This is just an introduction. This is just like a sample that we give in this thing. You will have to seek your teacher. Some of them had told me. So I had to move from one to the other. And before I met my teacher, I saw a book written by him, Desikachar's book called Religiousness in Yoga, a series of lectures he had given in Colgate University. And after reading the book, I said, this person is going to be my teacher. And I went, and through someone, I met him. And I was not sure whether he will take me personally. But it so happened, it is just luck. It is great luck. I would say that it is a grace of the God. I believe in God, and it is the grace of the God. In fact, a teacher does not show a God. It is the God who shows a teacher. That is what one of our traditions says. You can go to God yourself, but the God will show you a teacher. My God showed me my teacher, and so I had my yoga travel with him for more than 3 decades, till his last moments in Chennai. And I learned a lot of aspects. Like I started with my personal practice, then Yoga Sutra in the way in which it should be learned with sutras, everything broken then down and all that. Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Yajnavalkya Samhita, Yoga Ragasya, Bhagavad Gita, a lot of other texts, some more additional texts. And these texts will be given in small groups in those days. And also his own version of how postures have to be done, modifications and all that. Then, of course, he also asked me to teach in Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, where I became a teacher, and then so many things happened, which you also read out.
Yes.
See, what is to learn from a teacher, particularly in the parampara, that is the most important thing. It is just not the various things, including the postures and all. For example, in my case, I learned a lot of things about life, the way one should behave. Okay, I will just give you one example. For example, as a banker, I was in a fairly higher middle management level. lot of companies and all will come to me, and after they discuss and all that, they will leave gifts with me. And I can take a gift. It is not illegal or immoral, because the officers rules, governing rules, officers says you can take up to a particular amount and all that. But earlier I used to take, but after I heard him giving his explanations for the sutra on the yama and niyama, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. The word aparigraha, not to receive, not to receive. Aparigraha, he just not explained. He also lived like that. So I used to see him. I will wait for his class. Then someone else will go into his class and bring an excellent gift, very costly gift. They may be from international student, and they will give it to him. So what he will do? He will receive it. He will keep it on the table. Maybe next, if I go, he will give it to me. He never
Oh,
had any gift with him. Costly pens. I own some of the costly pens which he has got. So I understood that if someone gives a gift to me, what should I do? I can throw it on his face, his or her face, saying, I don't want it. I am in aparigraha. I am a yoga student. But that will hurt that person. Instead, if nobody will know, he will receive it and give it. There is nothing on his table. So this is one example, simple example. So particularly in the parampara style, it is it is this what we are inculcating values from the teacher. That's most important. Inculcating the values. And did not take any money from this institution. And the moment I became managing trustee, I decided. In fact, I started wearing dhotis like my teacher will do. I was wearing pants in those days. Then he was wearing dhotis, so I started wearing. So we inculcate a lot of things, and they go so deep inside. So it is as if that I am just traveling on the path that he has laid. That's more important.
yes, sir. Very true. I mean, your guru, your teacher, not just preach, but he set an example by applying his preaching. And so the students like you who were ready to absorb, so it was a lifetime teaching for them. I wish that every teacher that we train here and other institutes have this capabilities, not in the percentage your guru had, but little of this if we have as a teachers, if we apply what we preach, definitely the effect on the student is much more. So when you shared the example of nothing on is stable, and when you see it in a Guru Shishya Parampara, you witness it every day, such examples, automatically you become like your Guru. That is what a great gift to Guru. And definitely it was a great example shared by you, and it will remain with me lifelong. Nothing on your table. Rather than saying no to the people, accept and give away immediately. A great thing to learn. Definitely, sir. Sir, when you give example, tradition goes on from the originator to the guru to the disciple. And when in between it comes as a breakage. So I tried to understand that part, that the real guru, the Adi Guru, takes some form and comes back and again regains into that parampara. So that is the only example in Bhagavad Gita, or we can find it in some Purans or Upanishads somewhere, sir?
No, in the case of our teacher Krishnamacharya, he learned yoga under Rama Mohan Brahmachari, who was in the
Ram
Himalayas.
Mohan. Okay.
Brahmachari in the Himalayas, and in fact he says that he learned the text Yoga Kuranta, which is in the Gurkha language or something. Now Yoga Kuranta, and he learned a lot of postures, everything about Sigicha. But as far as the Adhyatmika Yoga is concerned, he was looking for the lineage of his teachers, which is traced to a Tamil saint called Nammalvar, and So the first couple, Narayana, Lakshmi, Vishnu, Lakshmi, from there comes 12 Tamil saints, sages, saints, of which one is called Nammalvar, and from him to Nathamuni, and the lineage comes. But that Nathamuni's lineage, Nathamuni had given a text called Yoga Ragasya, which was lost over time. So Krishnamacharya, because of his deep, practice of yoga, particularly meditation, dhyanam, he is able to go to that temple where where the shrine of Nammalvar is there, and then he does a meditation, and he was able to get this text in his samadhi state, and we have published that book called Yoga Ragasya.
Yes.
So it has happened in this tradition itself, and I am very sure that it would have happened in a number of such traditions outside also. So the person who has to revive this tradition, which was lost, will do some deep meditation. They will certainly be in a position where they go into that state of samadhi, sampragnata, asampragnata, like that, and then they will be able to revive it.
Revive that. Very good, sir. Very true. And Vedas also, we know that they are aparushya. So yogis went into meditation and they could connect to the higher reality, and coming out of samadhi, they could pen it down. So that is what Vedas as a scripture we have. Very correct, sir. So this is also something very new to me, that Yoga Rahasya. I have definitely heard about this text that is been learnt into samadhi. Yogi could connect it, and then coming out of samadhi could pen it down for the well-being. And this is a great example of that the originator comes somewhere and again connects the dots of tradition. So very good, sir, and thank you so much. We are also blessed by the yoga tradition, starting from Madhav Das ji
Yeah.
to our
In fact,
founder
that's
yoga.
what I told you in the beginning, Dr. Ansaji, whenever we go to MDNA for a meeting, I have more than a
Yes.
few times, I will travel along with her in the car to the airport in Delhi. She used to share that she has special, love and reverence for this system. Yoga KYM and Yoga Institute shares a lot of value systems.
Yes, yes.
So
And she, as a guru, is always available, sir, with us. So when she is taking a walk around, last 15 years of my journey as a teacher with Yoga Institute, not a single question is unanswered. She's always there for all of us. So that is what the tradition matters.
you are
And I'm
blessed.
Yes, really blessed, sir, and blessed to connect with you today. Getting to know many new things which I was not knowing, and really blessed to connect with you today. And I'm sure your sharing will be definitely helping the viewers also. Namaste. Hope to see you someday very soon at the Yoga Institute. Namaste.
I will end
Thank
up
you.
with a
Sure, sir.
chanting,
Sure, sir.
which is good. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste, sir. Namaste. Thank you so much.